Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Welcome to the Wise Prayer Wall. I have my family with me today, and they are crazy people. So we want you guys to enjoy yourselves and whatever you're doing in your living room, in your car, get with your spouse, get with your significant other, get with your family and your friends, and share, like, and comment on this podcast. Today is Tuesday, February the 28th, I believe it is. And we're excited for what God is doing.
No. Oh,
yes, it
yes,
is.
it
It
is.
is Tuesday,
Yes, it is.
February the 28th at 7 p.m. And we are excited. We are
Yes.
so excited about what God is doing in our lives and our family. And this is just us doing a Zoom session, having some fun with my family. We are here for Love Month, what they call Valentine's Day, but we love every day. We love our families every day. We love our spouses every day. See what I mean, guys? You're going to have some fun tonight. One of our couples is not able to be on at this moment, but she'll be right back. She will be right back. And we have to my middle here is the Brady Bunch. Let me see. We have my husband is here, the elder, Elliot Carr Sr. And then we have my sister-in-law, Mary, and her husband, my brother-in-law, Anthony, is here with us. Bless is behind them. They are a blessed family. And we have at the bottom here, we have Cheyenne, my sister-in-law. Cheyenne is here. And we have my crazy brother-in-law, John. Everybody knows John. Say, yeah.
Brace yourself. Brace yourself.
And then we have Charles Watson here, my brother-in-law. Charles and Natasha is on. And last but not least, we have the youngest of the couples, I believe.
Yes.
We have my nephew Dwayne is here. Jenny is here, and their baby Caleb is going to probably join us. Hayden.
That's how you do the Brady Bunch, Mary. Look. See if you can look at them. See if you can look at them.
This is what Tony and I did. I know it.
Everybody see if they can point to DC. Point to DC.
Hi, Dwayne.
The other way, Mary. The other way. There you go.
Hi, Dwayne.
I know, but while I'm here, I do want to celebrate.
DC, you only got to point down for us. Point down. Point down.
Oh, Lord.
Is Tracy gonna get one question in? I'm just curious.
Probably
Because
not.
you got to know where you're looking for everybody. So if I'm looking at Tracy, I'm going to go like
But
this.
Tracy is this way.
Okay, so when I'm looking at Tracy, is it like this?
Hollywood.
I'm looking at Tracy, is it like this?
Yes. Think about Hollywood.
No, you got to look at Tracy like this. I'm looking at Charles like this.
Yeah,
What's up, Charles?
Is that Tracy?
That's so crazy.
Charles, turn to your left. Charles, turn to your left. And see, that's a whole show. We can make a whole show just of finding out where everybody is.
His legs, Cheyenne. Lord have mercy.
Mary, there's something on Tony's nose right there.
Oh, my.
While I'm here at this
Now there's something on your lip.
Celebrate and congratulate my nephew Dwayne. He is a writer. He is, what else do you? Dwayne is going to tell his story before we start with our game and whatnot. But we are so proud of Dwayne in Wisconsin State doing his thing. On the Wise Prayer Wall, we support, we promote, we encourage. So we want you, nephew, to tell the world so they can start looking at your movies, man. We saw one of the movies, loved it, phenomenal. Good writer, awesome.
That's right. Friday the 13th, part 26.
Dwayne, if you can tell your uncle
in the hood.
In the
hood. Thank you.
Jason ain't Jason no more. He's
thank you. Yeah, I'm a screenwriter in here in Milwaukee, where most of our films are, or all of them have been independent, and as they hinted, they've been sort of low budget hood movies. But no, yeah, I've written 4 of them. Has been 4 of them. There's a 5th one on the way. Just I can, and Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, you can find it all on Tubi. Yeah.
Tubi. And what was the name of the first one you wrote?
Untangled. So yeah,
Untangled. That's
Untangled, Circumstances 3, Circumstances 4, A Good Day for Everybody.
All right.
Yeah.
And they are in the movie theaters now?
Well, no, they premiere in the movie theaters, and then they like a week or two later they put them on Tubi.
That's awesome. I'm so happy and proud of you.
Thank
and we're
you.
gonna bring the rest of the family on now, John.
All of them are on Tubi right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll be watching some tonight.
Thank you.
So please watch. Please go on there and support my nephew, Dwayne Edwards, EDWARDS. And his name is going to be big and great. And we are praying God for much success for you and your family. First question. We're going to start with Mr. John down here. How and when did you and Cheyenne first meet? I think I know a little bit about that story, but
you want to go? Go ahead.
Yes. She was in the Black Sea drowning. And I knew she couldn't swim. So I swam out to get her. And when I reached her,
oh my gosh,
I didn't know she was standing on top of somebody else. So they were actually drowning. But I helped her out. I put her in the boat. And it's been music ever since.
Cheyenne, do you have a better version?
Yeah. We actually met at Redeemed Church of Christ.
Yes.
When I was about 15, and he was probably 16 or so.
Was it that? I thought it was younger. Were we young?
Yeah, you were young. We were younger.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, but I don't know why I remember 15.
That's when you noticed.
Well, 15 is when she noticed me. I noticed her when she was 13.
Okay.
So she used to sing on the choir. You know, I ain't really sure if she was singing, even to this day.
Tracy, was I singing?
Diane was singing. She was right next to me. Yeah.
Yes. We were singing.
I had never seen, we came from a place where you went to church and you clapped for real, but I ain't never seen nobody clap like this the whole time. She was slick and she was bad, and she see those eyes. She always had them pretty eyes, and I saw her from the audience, and she looked so beautiful, and I said, one of these days I'm gonna give her my money.
Beautiful. And we know you're getting that money. Dwayne and Jenny, you want to go next?
Sure. She remembers it different. I met Jenny in college. I met Jenny my freshman year in college. I was doing something with this group called Lit, where we go to these meetings. And this beautiful woman was going around introducing herself to everybody. And she came up to me, introduced herself, and I didn't meet you until I think a year later. And then she remembers when we first met. You can tell that story.
So the first time we met, he completely embarrassed me. We were in a new RA meeting. I'd never seen him before, and it was a group of like 100 of us in a room, and I was sitting in the front, and he was toward the back.
Right.
I think, right? Or was it the other way around?
I was in the front.
He was in the front. I was in the back. He stood up and just yells across the room of 100 people as this meeting was starting, "Will the real Jenny Gruber please stand up?" And I very embarrassingly stood up and said, "Hi, that's me."
The reason I did that was because we were going to be co-workers, and I didn't meet her yet because
we were RAs on the same floor in college, in a dorm, and then
yeah.
That's convenient.
I know. I hear that, Dwayne. I hear that car blood in you.
Oh, beautiful. Now the rest is history. Tony Murray, when was your first time? I think I've heard this story before as well.
We first met. We were attending Christian Faith Fellowship Church at the time, and we attended a singles event. That's where we first met each other. Right?
That's when we first spoke. Yeah.
Okay. That's when we first spoke.
Because I noticed him before, but I saw him with the woman, so I assumed he was married. But it was his sister.
It was a sister.
It was his sister.
Who was his sister?
Yeah, it was the sister.
Right.
trying to bring some righteousness in her life.
If you really want to know the truth, we were at this event and this young man was singing and he sounded horribly. And I was on one side and he was on the other, and we both were laughing and we both went forward in our laugh. And when we come back up, both of our eyes connected. And then afterwards is when he said something to me.
Love at first sight.
That might have been like the second or third event that we attended. Her memories a little.
Y'all need to get your story straight.
It's the first time we met. I saw each other.
Oh Lord.
Oh, we're gonna have fun with the games. I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait.
So we're trying to help single people, and we're trying to help relationships develop. And this is what it's all about, guys. Getting your story straight before you.
Where's Charles and Tasha? We talked about this. I don't understand.
Okay, so
I don't understand.
What was before that event?
We saw each other, but you didn't say, hey, baby.
We spoke. That's
Okay,
when
we're gonna leave that for
that's when I asked you.
Yeah.
we're gonna listen. We're gonna put that for the session. The session between you and your therapist.
Doing your therapist.
Therapist.
Right now, we're going to direct this question to the one person. Oh, so we got the second person here. To the Watson.
The Watson.
So the question on the table is,
So we look that way.
How and where? I forgot the question. How and where did you guys first meet? Yeah. Natasha hasn't been feeling well, so we thank you for gracing us with your presence. You want to unmute your phones, you guys?
Sure. I feel great. I just needed a nap.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I'm talking about. Afternoon. Evening naps, because it's Tuesday and we are tired. We're beat for the day. You know, we had a long day.
Yes.
So Charles, you. Oh,
Hi, family.
Hello.
This is Tuesday?
Yeah.
I'm getting fired on Tuesday.
Please don't say that.
keep those things that are not.
How's your meet, Tasha?
It's good. It was going good.
No, I said, how did you guys meet?
Oh, how was your week? How did we meet? So there is this guy named Kyle, and he actually.
Charles' face though.
Right now.
So let me just say, we were in our senior year in college, and Kyle actually liked Charles more than I did.
A guy like Charles.
He did. Kyle liked Charles, and he told me about Charles. And we're just gonna leave that there. So
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Kyle,
What kind of show is this?
Charles had no interest in Kyle. Okay, it was a one-way thing. So our senior year in college, Tracy, it's been years since I've mentioned that name, but if it weren't for him, we would not be married, honestly.
Yeah.
He introduced us our senior year in college. And I guess you can say our first date was at Arundel Mills Mall. Charles went to Bowie and I went to Gettysburg, which is about an hour apart. So that was our meeting place. That was our frequent spot, was at Arundel Mills. So yes, we can thank Kyle Harrison for that meeting.
All right. Charles has disappeared.
That is something. I never knew that the reason you and Charles met is because he got stood up by a guy named Kyle.
I say stood up.
Hey, Charles,
when he tells the story, he leaves usually Kyle out of it, but that's
We understand, Charles. It's okay. Beautiful story. So
Can we get your perspective, please? Charles, can we get your perspective, please?
I'm speechless.
She's spot on.
You might want to
You
mute
mute
up.
yourself.
Feedback.
I said she's spot on with the story. That's true.
Feedback. We're getting feedback off you.
Turn the volume down.
Technical difficulties.
Would y'all like us to write letters? Clearly, technology doesn't work with me.
Together on the same screen.
Yeah, she's spot on.
Together. Huh?
How come one of you don't get off and come together? I'm just
Come
curious.
together.
Right.
Charles and Natasha.
What is it? Separate but equal? What's happening?
There you go. I'm doing a bunch of things. Like I'm cooking, I'm dealing with the kid. Like it's a lot going on.
That's right. That's right. The new man. The new man.
You're super dad, honey. Fine, super dad. Listen, people.
That's right, Charles. Go ahead and make them peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
No, I'm not.
With toast.
Hey, Charles, it's all in love. You already know, right?
No story.
No, that was it. That was what she said was correct.
Well, I met Tracy also at Redeemed Church of Christ.
Shout out to the Redeemed.
What was going on at Redeemed?
And
what kind of church was Redeemed?
It's a pivotal moment. One Friday night, I'll never forget. It was a Friday night.
It was Saturday morning.
No, and she had a blue outfit on, and she had blue cutout shoes
with the bow,
and she had them. Back in the day, the hair.
The bang.
She playing the. Oh my God! She had them bangs. Back in the day, y'all used to wear them bangs.
Baby hair.
Yeah, I mean hers was thick. It came down to her eyes.
Oh yeah.
But I saw her, and it was just that moment. I said, "She's gonna be mine."
Hey, mama.
And she was walking and had that bag
DC.
on her hip.
That ain't what he said.
What?
That ain't what he said. He didn't say she's gonna be mine.
Baby.
When I seen her, and I said that. It was just a matter of time. And
so 29 years married.
Yeah.
Coming up with 10, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, through many toils and snares, I've overcome. All good.
Oh.
What kind of show is this?
Oh.
Lord.
Hey, that hurt me.
Look, marriage, we know marriage is hard work. Relationships is hard work. And we've had our ups, our downs, We really have stood the test of our vows. What is it? What's the vow? Lord, what's the vow?
The test of us.
Love thy neighbor as thyself.
No,
That's the 10 Commandments.
That's the 10 Commandments.
What are the vows? For better, for worse,
For
richer, poor.
Man.
Don't have more God before me.
Sickness and health.
Less is more.
Do us part. That's
All
right,
that good
baby.
stuff.
Yeah, Tony.
That's right.
Less is more.
So
death do us part, but not during COVID.
Well,
Someone laugh at that one.
This one.
Rich or poor.
Yeah, for all those things, we've definitely stood the test of time. And I'm sure you guys have your testimonies of how you've overcome and the things that you have to go through and endure. And we're trying to help someone today, but we're doing it in fun. This is my family, guys. Look, this is us. We love as if we are blood brothers and sisters. And that's what I love about the Spring
dynamic.
It. What are y'all?
The family dynamic.
Yeah, I'm trying to say our last names, but that's what this is about. And we've been together for so long, even before we were married or as one unit. We've always been a part of each other's lives, and that's what I love about. Oh my God!
And if I might interject, one of the things that
this is so
I
touching,
find so
Look at John.
so rewarding is that we all know God for ourselves.
Yeah.
To know God helps us in our life, in our relationship,
yes,
in our just growing old together. So it is so important, and this is to the audience, that to know God makes all the difference as it pertains to relationship, as it pertains to individualism.
Pass the offering plate this way.
Yeah, I feel it.
Yeah.
But in knowing God, God will make everything so much better. And so this is a segue to the next question. And that will be,
what is the most challenging part of your relationship, if any, which I'm sure there has been some. Can you explain to someone what did you do to overcome that challenge situation? And whether it's finances, whether it's careers, whatever obstacles that you had to face as an individual or as a couple. Don't all just jump in there at one time.
Well, I'll lead the way.
Okay,
I'll lead the way. One of the strongest and the most difficult lesson that I have had to learn over the 20 or plus years, 25 plus years.
I don't know what you're about to say.
Oh, Lord, here we go. Is knowing when to say no.
That's good.
Meaning now, again, we all have our idiosyncrasies.
Can you spell that?
Cannot spell it. I'll make a good attempt.
That's actually a word.
But it
Let me
is
get
a
the
word. It
dictionary.
is a word. Look it up.
It is.
But our way of doing things has to come to become one when it becomes husband and wife. So how we did things individually, when we come together, our ways and how we do things must complement the two. We learn a lot from my younger sister. Let's point. Y'all point to the left to Mary and Tony.
They're over here for us. They're up there.
Okay. Through adversity. Through adversity. Struggles, hardships, however you want to use the adverb word, it requires us to make sacrifice. And when sacrifice is made, then the individual becomes selfless. So I've learned how to become selfless.
Good, baby. Good answer.
Man, that ain't nothing but ultra perm.
Say ultra perm.
Thank you, Elliot and Tracy. I will say for us, for challenges, it's literally been development. We had to be just very true to ourselves and the issues that we discovered that we have. I would say at the beginning of our relationship, we took a class through our ministry that was very helpful. We didn't even realize we had issues until we took this class.
Yeah.
It was called Intimate Encounters. And what it does is it's a class that shows you things about yourself, but you discover it within yourself. And your spouse learns as well. So you actually, like, for example, I know Tony's buttons and I don't try to push his buttons.
Mary, please.
Go ahead.
Don't let Elton John stop you from doing what you're doing, please.
So I just want to say a few things. The question was about overcoming obstacles. Was that like your question?
Yes.
I will say this, that Mary and I had a number of obstacles to overcome. We were just married within a few months. We were experiencing a serious health scare.
Yeah.
So we had to live up to our vows like right away. I mean, we were only maybe a couple months in our marriage when we got some terrible news, regarding Mary's health.
Right.
And that was a significant trial for us. It was very, very significant. And I remember her asking me that basically that we were very hardly in our marriage. And she asked me, in essence, hey, I get it. If you want to leave, I get it. But you know what? But in my mind was, I just wanted, it was in my mind that we were going to dig in and we were going to see this thing through.
Yeah.
So that was one thing. So that right there, again, that just started our marriage out. We've also faced other obstacles like finance.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a period of time where we were in significant debt. And I'm just being transparent because this is going to help some people.
Yes,
you know,
absolutely.
but eventually, we had to go through a mourning phase, but we got through it. You know, we finally came together and we worked really, really hard and we got out of it.
Yes.
It took some time though. It took several years to live in a very disciplined fashion, but we were able to do it. And by the grace of God, you know, we were able to overcome.
Yeah.
You know?
So, if you mind to interrupt. So, in other words, those vows were very important for us.
Absolutely.
We have experienced a lot of them. We've experienced sickness and health. We've experienced death from loved ones very close to us. We've experienced financial. I mean, we've experienced
family betrayal. I mean, you name it. I mean,
we've experienced a lot. But but as long as, again, I think as long as you love one another, and we've learned in our marriage, I don't put myself first and he doesn't put himself first. And I think that's what has made it for us with those challenges. We think about the other first.
And I'll be honest with you. I just, you know, me personally, I just trust the Lord that no matter what comes our way, I just trust that he's going to get us through it, you know? And so, you know, that's my piece, to be honest with you.
Awesome.
And I can get from what you all just did, the scripture that says we are overcomers by the word of our testimony. Mm-hmm. And I want those that are watching to share, like, and to comment. We're overcomers by our testimony, because again, what one may go through can help another that may be going through it. And the reality of it is, it's nothing new under the sun. But now how we weather the storm, how we go through the adversity makes the difference. And you holding fast to your vows. Remember that the vows were done before God and before man. Mm-hmm. Okay, all that is that smooching they doing over there?
Lord have mercy.
But we are overcomers. We can do all things through Christ that strengthens us. So again, if I might, I'm going to call on my brother and his sister, and it's not his sister, his wife. Y'all look like brothers and sisters. How long y'all been married?
10 years. It will be.
Wow. Where the time go? Congratulations.
But I would like to comment on this question here as far as a challenging part of our relationship. And I don't really consider it challenging. I just consider it as something that we had to, well, me on my part, had to overcome.
Right.
Because when you come into a union together as one, you don't want to lose who you are as a person. And with John, with him and I being, you know, pretty different as far as like his approach and with the comedy and just being a joker, you know, I would sometimes try to like hone him in and like, don't cut this out, you know, that's enough, you know, that's, you know, it's a time and a place for this, you know. And then I had to learn to embrace the fact that that's who he is.
Yeah.
That's a part of him. That's why I was attracted to him. That's why I love him, because of his humor.
Yeah.
Instead of like trying to change him, I just learned to embrace it and to love it.
Yeah.
And it has enhanced our life like in so many different aspects.
Absolutely.
As far as with relationships with other people.
Yeah.
You know, when I'm angry with him, you know, here we go here. And
you're gonna do a joke,
just, you know, that all ceases. So it wasn't like a challenging, but it's just something that I had to, on my part, like do an introspection and say, okay, this is who he is. He's not going to change. Don't try to make him change.
Yes.
This is why you love him.
Absolutely.
And embrace it. So
I love that. I love that, Cheyenne, because one of the things you hit it right on the head. Sometimes we get lost in ourselves, because my husband always says that we are individuals first.
Yeah.
And then we become one. And then you create a family, and then you got to bring in the children aspect. So I love that. And then balancing, which would have been my next question. But if anybody else wants to chime in, we can go there first, and then we go back to the balancing part. And just thinking about it, this is off the strip a little bit, but how is it that one can balance themselves? A lot of times we put church, career, family, it's all of that goes in together. Yes, however, but I think in balancing and not saying put God on the back burner or put family on the back burner, but to be able to create space for yourself so you won't get lost. Because a lot of times we can get lost. We can get lost with career. We can get lost with, I don't know, just trying to plan things for traveling. We just get lost. Everything else is going on around us, but we don't even have time for ourselves. So that was a good segue to where I wanted to go next. But Jenny, if you wanted to talk about it a little bit, and then Natasha and Charles, and then we'll move on to our next one.
What's the question? With a challenging question or the balance?
Overcoming obstacles.
What is the most challenging part of your relationship?
The part that's right down there at the bottom of the screen. That's what you got over there, sir. Right there. Right on. You see that right there?
I mean, I think I will echo what most everybody is saying, is just becoming more selfless. Just all the different things going on with life, moving and having a kid. Just learning to adjust and everything. It's all about just learning not to think only of yourself and what can you get throughout the day with, but your wife, your child, and that's it every day.
When Dwayne and I got married, I was working at Marquette University, and so he very quickly had to adjust to living on campus with 18, 19-year-olds while we were building our family.
Yeah.
And we weren't even married.
Yeah, that was a hard adjustment.
We found out we were pregnant about 6-7 months after we got married, right?
Yeah.
And then COVID happened while I was pregnant. So we've had a really whirlwind, almost 4 years of marriage.
Wow. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Beautiful. Anybody else?
Well, I can say how you all have adjusted. That goes to intentionality of the individual. Do you want it bad enough? Mm-hmm. And I think everyone on this panel can say that we love one another enough that we're going to make it work. I mean, just with your own volition, Jenny, you said whirlwind. There was so much going on. But if you all didn't have the intentions to come together, be one, make it work. And it's the same with Mary and Tony. Sickness is something that brings fear among people. And I want to interject that because in spite of it all, if your intentions are pure and if your intentions are right, you can weather the storm. And I'm saying that to those that may listen to the Wives Prayer Wall. Prayer will get you through some things that you think seems impossible to get through. But when you have a dialogue and a relationship with God, and I always bring things back to God, because without him, I'm telling you, it will be a hard thing. It will be a struggle. But when you know how to include him in with your life and your goals and your aspirations, what seems to be the main problem.
What's up, John?
I just wanted to say that because I know some of your listeners are not married,
right?
Maybe single,
exactly.
and you know, but I like that Elliot is bringing it back to God, because a lot of why Cheyenne and I work is because we were raised in a way. We were raised in the church.
Look out here now. Look out here now.
We always had a relationship with God and a relationship of knowing how to treat people. And I mentioned singles because you don't have to be married to have that relationship. You can learn how to have a relationship. If you learn how to have a relationship with God and with people in the church, you pretty much can have a relationship with anybody out there. You know, I mean, in the church, you're taught, you know, who to stay away from, who you should make part of your circle, who you should, you know, keep out your circle, who's not meaning you any good, who's, you know, right. A lot of things.
Absolutely.
And when we got together, there were a lot of similarities that made it very easy for us to be together and understand this has been put together by God, blessed by God, and that we were, you know, it is upon us to make sure it works. You know, and one of the things I always tell Cheyenne is that we have to enjoy where we are and what we're going through, because a lot of, you know, if we only had great things happening and only good things happening with us, we would not, you know, we couldn't understand, we couldn't appreciate them. Right. But because we do go through some struggles, whenever we come through them, we're like, remember when that happened, and remember when this happened? Wow. Yeah. And now some of the most simpler things, like just eating dinner on a Tuesday out at a restaurant, we can put so much more emphasis on it because, you know, we're able to eat on a Tuesday. You know, 2 months ago, I couldn't eat on a Tuesday because I had to be at work and I didn't get off until 11 o'clock. And she had to be at work and didn't get off till 8, you know. But now, because of a small little blessing, now we can eat at 7 o'clock in the evening, and we can learn how to enjoy that. We can enjoy that. That's a little blessing. You know, folks a lot of times think that you have to have this big thing that happens to you. We got a new car, we got a new house. No, sometimes it can just be we had a meal together.
Quality time.
Small things. Yep.
And that was the serious side of John.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. By the way, this is brought to you by Cable.
Charles, Natasha.
So that balance part.
Man, they're quieter than the church mouse in the Pentecostal church.
I don't know.
Why don't you change the question? Let's go to another question.
Yeah. I'm working on it. I'm having technical difficulties. So my husband will start with the other question.
Well, we do have tons of questions. And the reality still remains is that we can be a help and a light and a lamp to those that are going through life just as we are. So what I would like to ask, can I get your paper, please? Since you
sorry, I'm having some issues, guys. Forgive me.
What would be?
That's why we're one. We're helpers one to another. Stop.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Charles said, "Let him in, Tracy."
So who is in the?
Charles said, "Let him in, Tracy." There you go.
Who is the disciplinarian within the relationship? Did y'all hear that word?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Disciplinarian.
Dwayne. Jenny said Dwayne.
Yeah.
Dwayne.
We thought it was the other way around, but Caden has me wrapped around his finger.
Yeah.
That's now. Let's see how it goes.
He's a mama's boy, so.
Okay. What about you, Mary and Tony? You are
Mary.
That's that island. That's that island blood.
I would say generally that's the case, but I do have some moments.
Of course.
You pull up your trousers. Why I don't want
to. All right, Natasha, you back with us? Who is the disciplinarian within you all's group?
I would say I am, but Charles would probably tell you he is. So it depends on who you ask.
I can't wait until the game comes. Oh, I'm gonna love it.
Who's the disciplinarian? I said I am, but you'd probably say you are.
Yeah,
we both are.
There we go.
Selflessness, my man.
Yeah. John and I, we both are, but it's different styles of discipline.
Okay.
So I'm more of a person that wants you to learn a lesson in my approach. So I'm looking at the child as if I want to talk to them. I want to know what's going on. I want to know what's in your mind. Why did you behave this way? Why did you do that? These are the consequences of what could have happened because you did this. And John is more like, okay, you're punished. Okay. You know, you didn't follow the rules. That, you know, more of a stern disciplinary. And I'm more of a person that wants to talk. And I'm not going to say he does it with love too, but it's just a different approach. But we both are. I tend
to try to use, and not so much scare tactics, but because I've been a single most of my life, because of a lot of my experiences, and you know, my son is an adult, but the only person in our house now is our daughter. And, you know, in our opinion, she's a little naive when it comes to the world. So I tend to try to educate her with, hey, look, it's not always right in front of you. Sometimes you got to see the forest through the trees to understand what's going on. And, you know, the world ain't as easy as it is at home. So I tend to use more reality versus saying, oh, let me hear why you did that and this, that, and the other, you know. But I have learned from Cheyenne and Lauren not to raise my voice as much as I used to when I came in.
What?
Well, you know, you really just want to be easy.
Cheyenne, I'm gonna clap to that because he always used to raise his voice.
It's much better. It's much better.
Interject with that.
I never raised my voice.
Why used to lose his voice?
John, you used to lose your voice.
In my opinion, I was just talking normal.
No.
I was just talking normal.
Some things are hard habits to break. I'm working on that too, John. Let truth.
Well, I mean, if we're being honest,
I never yell. I just speak loudly.
If we're being honest, Mommy showed us a lot of
Thank you.
But she spoke loudly, and I think that's where we are.
Thank you. That was the segue that I was going to, because we had a mother that pretty much did it by herself. 3 children that she kept in line for all of our lives. We may have wavered in some cases, but she kept the iron fist. And she had it so good that if she looked at us a certain way,
looked at you a certain way, and you
knew what the deal was.
BC, you know that mean eye.
Hey,
and Dwayne Johnson, the one that got us in trouble all the time.
It worked. God bless her soul.
Yeah.
Because tomorrow would be her heavenly birthday. And no, don't do it. Don't do it.
You on the wrong day.
It's all right. So
you don't even know what day this is airing. This is airing on the day.
You would catch it.
And I'm like
but you know where I'm going.
Huh?
It's all good.
You understand where I'm going.
It's all good.
It's all good.
I'm appreciative.
Okay.
But you know what? John brings up a good point where he talks about how he's learning, and you as well, because I think that happens with all of our marriages is we all bring experiences from our past, and you have to be willing to adjust for your mate and understand that even though it may have worked in your past, you have to adjust some things for your relationship.
For the now. For the now.
I have a good question. Tracy, not to take over at all, but I have a really good question. What, and this is to everyone else about others, what have you seen out of anyone online that you can say has changed since you've seen them married? You know, like I said, I've tried to talk more normal, not so high or whatever. You know, what have you seen out of different ones? Like for me, I could say like Tony, when I first met Tony was not that good. You could never call Tony a handyman. And I've seen the changes in Tony where he is actually a handyman. Like
you got a tool belt, Tony?
I don't know about all that. I'm just saying, but you know what I'm saying, Tony, when I first met you, I can remember like Mary needing something as simple as like a lock put on a door or whatever, and so I need a lock, and you be looking around like everybody else looking around, like you know, talking to, but I mean, we need a lock done. And nowadays, if somebody were to say, "Oh yeah, we need a new hot water at one of your rentals," you would just get up and say, "Okay, let me go see about it." You know what I'm saying? So I've seen those little changes in you that back in the day, I know I used to be like, man, boy, Tony, you're the one to go fix nothing. I understand that stuff. Oh, this
is woke.
I will say, I will pick Dwayne between Dwayne and Jenny because as a mother, I have the beauty of watching him. I see how he cares for his wife. I see the love he gives her, how he puts her first. I've seen him with Caden by himself and not needing help, whether it's changing his diaper or feeding him or just watching him. I see him being a gentleman from going to get the card or opening the door, or just his observation. We could be out, and I see him watching the world as the world is watching his family, to be that protector. So I would say that's one thing that I've observed from him, obviously from us raising him to watching him as a man now. It's nice to see how he's developing and how he's protecting, providing, and loving. And so, yeah, that would be my answer.
But see, what you fail to relate to our audience is the things that you have instilled in him and how they've evolved. Yes, he's doing his own thing now, but he had to have had a start. And so this would go back to the question. I am a disciplinarian between the two of us. And my whole modus operandi is this.
I can't spell that either.
I can't either, but I know what it means. And that is, I'm going to fuel you with the information so that you can make the appropriate
So silly.
decisions. You'll have he got the paper. Oh, you are too much. But the reality of it is, this is what we do for our children. We prepare them for the world. And so how we prepare them is now, because again, mommy was a woman of God. But the truth of the matter, she tell you, if anybody get in your space, I'm just using this as an example, and you didn't do anything to them, and this was a woman of God. He said, pick something up and bust him upside the head.
Where Ellie got that from?
What, John?
Now the reality of it is,
I don't know where Elliot got that talk from, but he developed it
defend
somewhere.
yourself. Defend yourself, but do not go out there starting trouble.
Yeah.
Or you will get the repercussions of your actions. And so it's from that we branch off and you say, do the right thing. If you do the right thing, then you don't have to worry about what comes behind it. Because it's right to do right. I'm stealing another person saying, it's right to do right.
Wrong to do wrong.
Thank you.
Wow.
Did you invent that yourself?
I said I stole another person
from someone else. He said, we don't want to leave Tasha and Charles out. If y'all wanted to share anything.
When it comes to disciplining kids, I really don't have to do too much. I just say with a stern voice, and it pretty much 90% of the time will get done.
Go ahead, boy. Go ahead, boy.
Right.
Go ahead.
Tasha probably got little struggles, but
go ahead, Ike and Tina. Damn it, you wrote the song. Now sing the song.
We were trying to talk about boundaries, and I really wanted you guys, or balancing life in general. And I wanted you to help someone, because I had a friend of mine who will be watching this podcast, and she mentioned that it's hard to I'm trying to see how she said it, but it was hard for her to find herself again when she got married. She was having difficulties and trying to balance. She didn't have time for herself at all. And developing self-care was one of the things for me. I think all of us have that moment when we do self-care, whether it's getting your nails done, your hair done. You do have time away from your spouse. So can you guys help her understand what it is and how you guys finesse through setting boundaries for yourself as it relates to your spouses, or whether it relates to children, career, or family, or however you want to word it? Can you just kind of help her out there real quick, and then we'll move right on, because it's getting late and we see the baby is woke. That is Mary's grandbaby.
Old lady.
Yeah. And Tony, Pop, what do you call you, Tony?
Granddad.
Granddad.
Yep.
And he's up now, so we don't want to hold you guys too long. But if anyone just wanted to chime in there real quick to be able to help my friend out, I will appreciate that. And then we'll move on.
Let your spouse know that you want a couple hours to yourself and go have it. Go have the time.
Okay.
That's simple.
Straight to the point.
That's a man's answer, I
A
think.
couple hours. Cheyenne, how about a golf day?
Oh,
Golf weekend.
Yeah.
Which they are
can do
entitled
that.
to.
Yeah. Yeah, but my take on it is that you have to just take the time for yourself.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you're not in a healthy place or in a healthy space, then you're not going to be any good for your family or your loved ones.
Or for yourself. Yeah, yeah.
You know, so you have to take this time to nurture yourself, you know, to input, you know, into yourself, you know.
I like that
So
word,
you can
nurture.
yeah, so that you can be strong and you can be in a position, you know, to be healthy. It's not just physically, but you have to be, you know, we're all dynamic, you know, people. You have to be mentally, physically, you know, socially healthy.
Of course.
You have to take the time for yourself. Just take the time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
who's that?
And don't feel guilty when you do it. It's okay.
It's
Yeah.
okay. Don't feel guilty. I like that. Yeah.
So,
That was one of
I
the
don't-
struggles.
Is
Yes,
somebody trying to get in?
We're back. I think
I'm hearing some kind of beep.
It's
beep.
gone, babe.
Okay.
Yeah. So I really don't know enough about your friend's situation, but marriage shouldn't be an oppressive type ordeal. You know, we should be trying to encourage each other. And like me, I mean, we're married. I'm very confident in my wife. You know, I trust her that she will always do the right thing. So, I mean, so if she wants to, you know, and something with her friends, or she wants to get her hair done or nails done or whatever
Right.
she needs to do, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, I don't even, she puts on the count. I don't even think twice. I don't think nothing about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
But I also think you go through phases. Like we have our children were young, now they're older, and we talked about before where we've had various types of struggles. And I think when you're going through those different phases, sometimes a woman can lose herself
Yeah.
because you want to either make a sacrifice financially. You're like, well, I don't know if I should really get my nails done, or it might be your time. Maybe you're really in school, or maybe you're working and stuff like that. And so sometimes you have a challenge with your time as well. But I agree with what Natasha, Cheyenne, and Tony are saying, which is you have to make yourself a priority, because you will always get lost in the things that are important to us. But if we don't keep ourselves first, or at least make ourselves a priority,
Yeah.
then we'll just be disappointed. I don't care how successful you are. If you come home and your house is dirty, or if you don't feel good about yourself, you're not going to feel content.
In addition, as life partners, you have to, you have to support each other. My wife wants to go and do whatever, it's okay to support and be there for them. You don't have to be there for someone doesn't mean you have to be there with them. Sometimes it's all about just supporting the fact that they want to go back to school. They want to change their job. They want to change their hair. Sometimes support is all a person needs. I mean, when you think about it, how'd you get together? Men were the best listeners. Women were the best listeners when they were courting each other. And then we get married and you realize, oh no, I'm more important. What I want is most important. Okay, it may be very important, but having the support of your partner is also important. And sometimes all you have to do is just listen or say, hey, you know what? You can do that. You can go back to school. You can graduate. You can do better. And, that sometimes is all you really you need. Now, I'm not saying I have all the answers, but a lot of times we forget that. We do forget that someone else wanting to do something is not all that bad, because when you met the person, they were doing something. And what you do? It was so interesting. Oh, really? You want to be a doctor? Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Okay.
I'm chomping at the bit now because I want to jump in by asking.
Go ahead.
I want to ask the panel. That's to every one of you all. Would you have a problem with your significant other going out of the country by themselves?
You talking about my wife or my girlfriend?
How long?
for whatever period of time. Say for instance, Cheyenne, you tell John, I'm going to Hawaii. I just need to unwind. And John has to work, but you want to get away now. Under the premise of what we were just talking about, as far as taking care of self, prioritizing self. I'm under a lot of stress. We can use any numerous situations to justify why we want to do it. Can the spouse, be supportive for such a thing as that?
Well, okay. In that type of question, I would answer it like this. I can be supportive of anything, but you also are not supposed to be a fool. You know
what that mean?
Well, here's what I'm going to say. Hawaii,
right?
Hawaii is
right.
You know, if my wife comes to me and say I'd like to go to Hawaii by myself,
that's too far
out of the country.
No, it has nothing to do with good.
Well, Hawaii, you would go with either a spouse or a girlfriend.
Right, exactly. So you know, if you would have said something like, "Oh, look, babe, I want to go work in the Peace Corps for 6 months because I think I can really help and whatever," absolutely, that's support. I can get behind that. But if you're going to say I need a break from you and everyone else, and I want to go to Hawaii by myself, I'm like, are you crazy? I almost said something else. I don't know. But you know what I'm saying? I mean,
there has to be a justification.
Well, no, like for example, like if Tony was going on a missions trip to Africa, and
so that's a justification.
No, but because I agree with what John's saying, I don't think he's crazy, but if I'm going to Hawaii, I want to be with him.
Exactly.
Or I'm going on a girls' trip.
Okay, so take the destination out.
That's what I did. That's what I did when I said if it was a Peace Corps trip or if it was some type of ministry that you.
No, that's justification. We having problem now with destination. Okay, no. I change the destination and I say I want to go to Minnesota or I want to go to Arizona. I need to just unwind. And
just
you're
so you know, all the places you named are not out of the country. I'm just saying. Go ahead. All the places you named are not out of the country.
Right.
Yeah,
so the destination is the problem.
Well, for me, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense because if my wife needs to unwind, in my opinion, I need to try to find a way I can help her unwind, even if I'm there or not there. But if she's already made a decision and already made a conclusion, then that's kind of going against the whole husband-wife talking about things, coming up with an answer about what would be best for it. You know what I mean? Whenever she's going through something, my first question is, "Baby, you okay? Baby, you need anything?" It's not what did you decide and where are you going?
Yeah. Right. And I've done girls' trips without Tony, and there's no problem. Like I've met girlfriends in other states and enjoyed my weekend. I miss him, believe it or not. I don't like being away from him.
Right.
But it's not because I need to get away. It's because my friend invited me up to her cabin and I went. You know what I mean?
All I did was created this scenario. Yeah. I like all the responses that I've gotten.
had
go ahead,
observation
Dwayne. The younger of us all.
If she asks, is this like just by myself I want to go, or is this like with friends or family?
She wanted to go by herself. She needed to unwind. She needed to clear her head.
A couple of girls.
Whatever
girls trip.
Well,
I don't know
without
Kaden.
Girls trip is one thing. But see, if your wife,
I'll babysit Kaden.
Look, if your wife comes to you, or your husband comes to you and say they need to unwind and they need to get away by themselves, in my opinion, it's bigger than that. It's bigger than the destination or how long or where they're going. I think it's big. You know, there's more she's saying or more he's saying, and you need to jump into that, because if your response to I need to get away and I need to go to Minnesota is okay or no, then you're not hearing what she's saying or what he's saying. He's asking for help. He's asking for you to be, jump in there with me and realize that I'm going through some stuff and it's really starting to stress me out. Now you get into the meat of it. Yeah. But if you think the meat of it is I'm going to Minnesota, then you probably lost anyway.
What's in Minnesota?
Exactly. Exactly.
John, I agree with you because to those watching, and I think my cousins and my sister and my brother will agree, your spouse is your best friend.
Yeah.
So it's cool to take it. Charles is going to Vegas in a couple of months with his best guy friends, a couple of them, and they're all married too.
Yeah.
And I just went to Florida without him. But if I needed to get away or clear my head, I would love to take him with me because your spouse is your best friend. That's who you kind of unwind and have fun with. So I think if someone watching, if your spouse is saying they want to go to Minnesota, particularly, I'm just kidding, that they're going, that they want to, look, especially if they're going out of the country.
Right, you know, you need to clear your head, and you chose Minnesota.
Gotta start rethinking some things.
No, I would check their email and see where they've been logging in. Maybe
Lord.
And you know what? Especially around now, because if Minnesota is your choice right now, what are you trying to do? Go somewhere and shovel some snow? I mean, really, ain't a whole lot to do in
Minnesota wasn't a good
right now. You get stuck.
I know Elliot. We're getting. I know what he's trying to say though. If your spouse tells you they want to get away, they need some space. I don't know, Charles.
Would you all have a problem with
For the record, he's not talking about.
I think what John said. I think as a spouse, you would want to kind of dig a little deeper, like you need space for me. And I don't know. I think I would, John. I wouldn't just be like, "All right, peace. I'll see you in a week." I would.
It would never be that. It would never be that. I mean,
I can tell you now, Tony will be like, "Okay, where are we going?"
Yeah, I don't know. That sounds like a beginning of a red flag.
I need to get away, clear my head. Okay, where are we going?
Let me just say this: if Mary came to him and asked that she wanted to go someplace by herself, that would be unacceptable. That would not be acceptable.
So say why? Tell
I would agree with John because
why.
there's something behind. There's a question behind the question.
Yeah, I agree.
There is something behind that.
The same will apply to some, when you go away with fellow guys.
You stand by yourself.
Oh yeah, okay, that's different.
You understand what I'm
Oh,
saying?
that's different. That's different.
I mean, I really wanted to try to see if there was a line drawn, or is there just understanding between the husband and wife in terms of traveling by yourself?
Yeah.
Because there was a point behind the question, and I got it from you guys from both angles, from both sides. But in the same regard, we understand that a lot of us prefer, and I use the word prefer.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get my fingers in the screen. We would prefer, you understand, to travel with a significant other than to have them go off by themselves. And I don't even think it's an issue of trust. It's just a preference because, again, the world is dangerous. And when I say dangerous, particularly when it pertains to, when I used to frequent pubs and bars.
Cheyenne has
Did you say pubs?
Pubs, bars, things of that place where the bars are.
Did you say pubs?
And if that shows you how long ago that was. But to leave your woman sitting at the bar, it would be like leaving your woman at prey for all the other guys to hit on your woman. Yeah. And she can very well say, I'm not interested. But you got some ignorance that's rampant in the bars that will keep hitting on her, especially if they got liquor up in them. I'm just using that as a scenario.
It can be anywhere. It don't have to be the bar.
It don't have to. It can be in the church.
Cheyenne had a point.
Yes.
Cheyenne. I forgot the point.
I know. Everybody's off again. I don't know what was
the point
now we in a pub in Ireland. Oh my God, Lord.
At the resort at the bar. I don't know. Cheyenne, you good?
Yeah. Let's
It'll probably come back to you. So we're winding down, guys. I asked if you could get a paper and pen. And we know we all have integrity. So we're going to play this. How well do you know your spouse? I want to pause here, though, to say thank you once again for being a part of this. I've had, John, I've had so much fun and listened to different perspectives of situations. And again, please check out my nephew, Dwayne Edwards. On Tubi.
4 movies.
Is that TUBI?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was until we have it already.
Yeah, check him out. And everybody is doing great things in their own right. We have careers and entrepreneurs
Entrepreneurs, go.
Please follow them, their social media platforms.
Natasha, what is your social handle?
It's RCC Community Service, but this is all part of relationship. She gone to feed the baby.
Yeah,
that's it. She gone and ain't coming back.
Yeah.
But you know what, Charles? You see how you got her back? You had that answer.
I did. RCC Community Services.
And who is feeding Edna?
Services.
I'm telling you, she got
What do you say, John?
She got to. You gotta go, man.
Mary, those
got
that's in Wisconsin area, tell them how they can follow you.
I'm bold with it now, man.
You can on
Gotta
Facebook,
go.
it's Team Mary Edwards or Mary Edwards Realtor. Team Mary Edwards.
Instagram, what?
Team Mary Edwards.
Team Mary Edwards.
I don't know what's going on over here in this left corner.
Oh, I heard them. I'm trying to talk over them.
What do you say, Charles?
Realtor of the year is Mary Edwards.
You gotta go, man.
But she gotta go.
I know. I'm trying to talk over that for you.
Do y'all have a paper and pen? This has been so much fun.
We do.
All right. So Ellie and I have ours as well. And it's how well do you know your spouse? We'll team it here. The first question would be, what is your spouse's favorite color? So Mary, you will tell us what Tony is and vice versa. Jenny and Dwayne, vice versa. And then hold your paper up. You gotta be right. So I'm gonna put mine here.
Oh, so I need my own pen.
I know.
Yeah, you need your own pen. Don't look at what he writes or she writes.
I know this.
I don't know what that say, Dwayne.
No cheating, church people.
That's right.
No cheating.
We have integrity. Can y'all see mine?
That's right.
Yeah, I see it.
Oh, this is Elliot's favorite color. Is that right?
Yeah, this is your favorite color.
Let me see. Okay. It's light blue, by the way, if that makes a difference. Tony and Mary, what did you say?
Well, let them do this. Let them go in order.
Black. I write it big. I can't see that.
I put blue for Tony.
Tony,
Oh,
is that right, Tony?
Yeah, that's correct.
What's yours?
where's the thing at? Where's the camera?
Right here. Right here.
Oh,
Here.
What color is that?
Black.
blue.
Is that right, Mary?
That's blue. No. Oh,
No, it
Mary, yours was wrong.
I will say he's my favorite color, and he is black. So yes.
That don't count. One
All right,
wrong.
it's
Mary,
our turn.
I'm taking score. Mary is
Right,
wrong.
Are you ready for us?
Yeah.
We did ours already.
No, we didn't. She didn't acknowledge.
Go ahead,
it.
Shy. What you got?
This is John's. Why do all men want
Blue.
to?
John is blue. And Cheyenne's is both of y'all blue. Is that right?
No, I don't like blue.
Ah!
I don't like blue. You know that.
But Tracy, I have to also.
I know her favorite color.
Hold
Hold on. Look.
What's my favorite color?
I really don't have a favorite color.
Stop it.
Me neither.
That's
Me
my favorite
neither,
color.
Mary. But if I were to go towards, it would be like a turquoise. I like that bright color. But
I really don't have one. I like purple for my relationship with Christ and green for money.
I like black.
Afro black.
Afro black.
I'm so black.
Oh my.
The second question, guys.
We're black.
Charles. I'm so sorry. What's Tasha's favorite color?
Favorite color is purple.
Her favorite color. Tasha, is that right? Huh?
She
I
gone.
hear you.
She gone. She gone. I wrote it. Yeah, I wrote it down though.
You wrote it.
What?
She's not breastfeeding. Is
She got what?
You gotta go.
Is she breastfeeding?
That's silly. Hello.
Anyway, the second question is, who
Help,
said
please.
I love you first?
Wait, why does she have to leave? Is she breastfeeding?
No, Chloe was wilding out.
Oh.
She ain't ate. She gone. You want a crying baby in the background? Nah.
I did.
What was the question?
Oh, I was supposed to know.
What was the question?
Who said I love you first?
I did.
Oh.
Jenny
Write
said
yours down. Write yours down.
I said,
Write it down.
you said you.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay.
No, wait a minute. Don't look.
You got to say the name. Say the name so we know who.
Elliot said it first.
E. Yeah, that's who I am.
E. Big E. And the place to be.
Oh no, Tony and Mary just cheated, just like always.
Y'all
Just
cheated.
like always.
Who did not cheat?
John.
John, if you were paying attention, he'd already showed the answer.
Wait a minute. That's mine.
John. Okay, cool. Yay. John, just like that cooking contest. We know about Tony and Mary.
Yeah, they love it. Don't you go get that trophy.
Yes.
Don't you go get it.
Yes.
He's going to go get it.
Man, just
No cheating, church people.
terrorism. Oh my
No cheating,
goodness.
church
Show the
people.
trophy.
Cheating, church
Show
people.
the trophy that you won fair and square.
All that trophy shows, all that trophy
Right there.
shows is
Let me
that
remove her off the
your
screen.
husband will
Right
do
there.
anything for you.
It's right there.
Okay, come on. Next one.
So to everyone, that trophy represents. Should I tell it? Don't just say yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
So the
Go ahead.
siblings had a cooking contest one Thanksgiving year, maybe 2-3 years ago.
That's right. That's right.
And we were supposed it was what was it? Curry chicken.
Curry chicken, rice.
And we were supposed to test the chicken to see who made the best curry chicken. And Tony knew what chicken Murray made, so he voted for his wife because
He
he
did not
knew.
vote. He did not vote.
He did not vote.
He did
I
not
couldn't
vote.
He
vote.
influenced the votes.
No, I didn't.
No, he
And
did
from
not.
his influencing, that's where influencers came
All
from
the
on the internet.
answers, people came back saying I won, and John's a hater, so that's what he's been hanging on to.
Next question.
Elliot's quiet.
Next question.
All right, okay, Cheyenne.
Elliot, how many votes did you get? Never mind. Never mind.
The chicken contest. Who needs the most attention in the relationship?
Is it just spouses or?
Right, just the spouses, just between the spouses.
So I have me. Let's see if Elliot says me.
Elliot, what you say? Trey said, yeah.
Hey Tony, I have me.
Mary, okay. John, Cheyenne.
Dwayne.
Okay, Cheyenne.
You know what I mean?
Cheyenne.
Dwayne, I'm surprised. Wow.
Dwayne, what you say? Him?
He will purposely do things that frustrate me just so that I'll give him extra attention.
Wow.
Oh, that's good.
I mean, Tasha and Charles. Tasha said Charles need most attention. Look at his face. Look like CJ.
Charles, what do you say?
I'll eat that one. you got married for a reason, right?
That's true. That's true.
There you go.
Eat that one.
Give me all my flowers.
Don and Cheyenne?
Yeah, we did it already.
Yeah,
It's Cheyenne. Yeah. Who says sorry first?
Me.
Charles says me.
I
Tasha,
got
you
right
agree
that
with
one.
Charles?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Getting an apology out of a woman is like.
Hey, don't start that. Don't start that. Don't start that quick.
Dwayne says sorry first. I say me.
That's gonna be every man. Nope.
Ellie gonna say him probably.
That's gonna be every guy on this chat.
Who you got?
Yep.
I did.
John.
Yes, I do.
Elliot and Tracy got that one wrong.
He phony, y'all. I say sorry all the time.
Y'all got it wrong.
He say, oh my bad. I don't know what that means.
Tracy. You don't say sorry. You say bye, Felicia. Bye, Felicia.
His thing is, oh my bad. All right. The next two, let's see what's the next one. Who is the messiest person out of the two? And who is the cleanest? Cleans.
I say neatest.
Oh, Jesus. Sorry. Did y'all get that? Who's the mess?
We have to label.
John. Okay. I say Elliot. What you got?
Which one? For clean? For messy or clean?
Messy.
Who's the messy?
I did. You ain't even changed your question for the last time.
Because it's me. I did.
You're the messiest.
I
Okay.
I did.
Oh Lord.
Oh God, come on, John.
What you got there? Murray, Dwayne is the messiest. Cheyenne, but I better say
We're both pretty clean.
You know I'm the only one that clean in this house.
No.
I'm the only one that cleans.
But you may be the only one that messed it up too.
That's not true.
That's not true.
You're wrong.
All right, Tony Murray, y'all said
Family.
Tony is the messiest.
See you.
Well, Tony is actually clean, but if we have to define it, he's the messy one. I'm the clean one.
You said what? I ain't your mama.
Who may leave dishes? Who leave clothes around? Who leave their shoes where it shouldn't be?
For our house, I would say the only thing is clothes, and that would be Tony.
Tony.
A chair.
No, Tony is the messiest.
Yeah, they pile up on my nightstand. Well, at least it's contained, though. You know what I mean?
We don't really leave clothes around.
We don't really need clothes around. So that way, I guess, goes to the opposite. Whoever's the cleanest would be the opposite of whoever's the messiest, right? Okay.
No, not necessarily. I disagree.
Lord.
I disagree.
What you got then? What you got?
I am the cleanest.
The
But only because I like things in order.
Oh, come on.
Cheyenne
Oh, come
likes to
on.
clean more because she likes, like when she comes home from work, she tells you about her day, and while she's telling you about her day, she'll clean stuff that's already clean.
Wipe it down the counter.
Clean stuff. Yeah, who put this dust on the counter? Dust? Dust on the counter?
What's the last one?
Okay.
What's the next question?
Not that one. That was it. He put down here, how does disagreement get settled? But that's not
an easy answer. That's not an easy answer.
Because I wanted them to know. We thank you guys so much. We thank you for tuning into the Wise Prayer Wall. Money.
Hi, Kaden.
That's how our disagreement gets settled.
Kaden. Look at that smile.
With money.
Kaden. Hey, Kaden.
Oh, my goodness. You should be on camera.
Oh, yeah. We send shout outs to our nephew who wanted to be on, I think. I'm not sure. Kobe. And Kobe and Nicole. Jacoby and Nicole. And what's the baby's name? Hello. What's the baby's name?
You said hello, Mama.
Hey, then.
We send shout outs to them as well.
Yeah, can you say thank you?
We're going to let you guys go. Okay. We're going to let you guys go. We have had so much fun tonight.
Oh, by the way, while you were sitting here and the question came about my spouse going to Hawaii, we just booked our flight to Hawaii. We're going to Hawaii, y'all. Yeah, we won.
Hercules.
When are you leaving?
Tell the internet where we gonna be going from the house. Even in September.
You know what?
Somebody on here talking about they'll be gone. Okay.
Yeah, but you still have a house full of people, so ain't nobody stupid.
This is true. And we got that dog. Where's she at?
Yeah, show him that dog.
That dog is a horse.
Has anybody seen the movie The Beast?
Yeah.
I'm just seeing it. I'm going to watch the rest of it tonight.
Yeah. Really? You mean with
Idris Elba?
Yeah.
What was wrong with the line?
Look, we're gonna pray out and we're gonna end this recording. But y'all can stay on if you like. We can get on the phone and do the Zoom like we always do. I miss those, Mary. We gotta get those up and running again. We have family all over and we can't see each other all the time, which is really sad.
Tasha, you look good.
Huh?
I was telling Tasha she looked good.
Oh, thank you. So we have time.
You know, Natasha. I went to Natasha to get my booster shot.
That's why we gave Tasha a plug. RCC Community
Health Service.
If I'm being honest, I can't use the arm still. Hey, Ellie,
Good reviews, brother. Amen.
John, you had that facial droop.
It was a good shot.
Oh my God. If anybody want to say anything real quick, encouraging someone that may be listeners that's developing relationships or having difficulties going through something or trying to make a decision whether they want to get married or not marry or whatever.
I would like to say that it's not just a saying. Please trust God. Put him first.
Not me.
Just please trust him. He cares for you and he knows your heart and he will direct you in the right path.
Awesome. Anybody else want to say something real quick? 2-3 words. Commitment, trust, love, respect. Anything you got, John? John is good right now.
A good sexual lifestyle is good for me.
You walked into that one.
I know you did because you didn't bring up sex at all. I was kind of concerned, but I'm glad you didn't. John would have went off.
Okay.
Close out.
Trying to avoid the inevitable here.
Ellie's like, I'm ready to go.
We're gonna have him close us out in prayer. Huh?
Let Kaden pray.
You want to pray?
Yeah. We did pray in the beginning. We're gonna have Elder
What did he say?
close us out. Oh my
He
God.
said no.
Okay.
Thank you guys. Good night.
Good night.
Night. Love you all.
Good night. Appreciate it.
We
Thank you,
thank
guys.
God for you for being with us. We pray that what has been said, what has been done, will bless someone under the sound of our voices, help them to make decisions, help them to know who to go to for answers. We ask you now, Lord Jesus, touch their hearts, touch their minds, and we'll be ever mindful to give you the glory and give you the praise. For all honor and glory belong to you. It's in the name of the Lord Jesus, and for Jesus' sake, Christ is risen.